Roll for Crit is made possible thanks to the support of viewers like you and our patrons on our Patreon page.
You can become a patron for just $1 a month at patreon.com/rollforcrit. Hello there, my friends. And
Good
also,
evening.
Will's here too. He popped in there.
Yes.
Welcome to Roll for Crit's special Halloween edition. You're joining us right now. I'm Jonathan.
And I am Will.
And you can see we're having a lot of fun here with green screen technology
Oh,
as we
yeah.
learn and experiment with new things. We are here tonight to play through a session of the role playing game known as Quietus, which I backed on Kickstarter. We have a link in the description if you want to check it out. It's a one-shot horror RPG. It's our first time trying it out. It is an RPG for a much smaller group. You can actually meant for only 2 or 3 players. We're doing it with 2, as you can see. I will be the GM, and Will, you will be the victim. And so I will give you a little bit explanation of exactly how it's going to work. There's a lot that we don't know about this. There's a lot that I don't know about this in terms of what's going to happen tonight. A lot of this is on the fly. This is a low prep type of a role-playing game. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us, everyone in the chat, and happy Halloween. And thank you for choosing to spend your time with us like this. So, as I said, this is a horror RPG, and whatever shape that it takes, whatever form it takes, whatever the scenario may be, you are going to be pursued by some kind of they refer to it as a horror. So it could be a person, a thing, we're not sure yet.
Crippling anxiety over the current state of affairs.
Hey, it's funny you mentioned anxiety. That's going to be in there too. The basics, the main rule that you need to know is, like any RPG, I'll be describing stuff. You'll be telling me what you want to do, and you'll see how it goes. When you are making a roll, there are 3d6s that you have, and typically for any kind of an action you want to take, if it's, I deem it to need a roll, you will just have 1 by default. So you'll only be rolling 1 unless you will be able to add in more through other means.
But would that be like if I said attack and I said I use an axe or something like that?
Yes. Something like that, yes. But I'm using the word action, but I mean literally like anything you want, like whatever you're trying to do.
Right. I just went with one of the most basic things I could think of
Right.
in terms of where I'd be like, there's barehanded, then there's a weapon.
Right. So no matter what, so there are 3 different types of actions you can take. Essentially, they're really just different levels. The basic one is called an uneasy action. Then a step up is tense, and the hardest one is desperate. So depending on how tough it is, I'll determine which one of those it is. But essentially for all 3, you look at, for however many dice you're rolling, the highest number is what you look at. You only look at the highest result. If it's a 6, that's a success.
I like that. I just rolled 1.
There you go. If it's a 4 or 5, that's a partial success. If it's a 1 through 3, it's a failure. And depending on whether it's tense, uneasy, or desperate, there will be some little differences in there too. But that's basically what you need to worry about, and I'll explain the finer details as we go.
Right.
Now you will see there are 4 stats at the bottom of the screen that we're going to be keeping track of.
My screen will be over this way, by the way, in case anyone's curious. That's why I'll keep going like this.
Yes, we may be looking different directions. Bear with us. And Hoser says the mouse cursor's in your hair, so I moved it. So I will go over what these stats mean.
Not another fly.
We don't want to have any of that. Also, I know every time I move my arms, my background is flickering a little, but it's actually kind of spooky. I like it. It adds to the atmosphere.
Mine do that? I'm curious because this is actually the first time I've used green screen on my end.
Yours is looking good. I think yours is looking good.
That's good to hear. That's good to hear.
All right, so anxiety. Now, all of them, as you can see, start at 0. Throughout the game, they're going to be going up. There is no way to reduce them. So they are only going to get higher.
Not even a little Ambien?
No, nothing like that. Nothing. So for anxiety, this is one of the things you're going to be using to add extra dice. So on a roll, you can push yourself. You can only do this if it's tense or desperate. You can't push yourself for an uneasy roll. If you push yourself, you get to add an extra die to the roll, but you also roll a die to see how many points of anxiety you are going to be raised by.
And would that be before or after the result?
I think before.
Okay, so I can't be like, oh, I rolled a 2. I'm adding a die.
Right. Yes. Yeah. You have to decide before if you want to do that. Yes. And you have to also describe like how are you pushing yourself? What are you doing to like make yourself stronger or whatever it
Look,
is.
I'm just trying super hard, okay?
I know. I'll cut you some slack. The other thing is if there is, just to tell you all the ways you can add dice, if there's an object or another character that can help you with it, and you can explain how, they can add a die. However, be aware if a person, a side character, helps you, it's pretty likely they're going to die in the process. Like 50-50 chance they will probably die.
Jonathan, I really need your help. Help me cut this sandwich in half. Sure. Oh, God.
I know, that happens to me all the time. And the other thing you can do is you can reveal a scar. This is a painful story from your history, something in your character's past, a traumatic experience of some kind. And if it relates to the situation at hand, ideally it should. That's why you would introduce a scar.
My character, not my
your
past.
characters, not you. Your character.
Okay.
This will, although whatever you want to base it on, that will add a die, and that will raise your anxiety by 2 if you have a scar. Now, the reason that you need to worry about anxiety is if your anxiety ever hits 10, your character is panicking, and for the remainder of the game, all of your rolls will be desperate rolls, which is the most difficult type of roll with the severest punishments if you fail. So that's your anxiety. Next up, we have despair and hope. These are kind of partners with each other. They go up from 0 to 5. If the higher up despair is, the closer your pursuer is to getting to you, or the more aggressively he's pursuing you, or she, or it, or whatever it may be. And that will raise usually by failed rolls, that kind of thing. If you hit 5 despair, it gets you. It's done. Game over. You're dead. Your character is
So it's
dead.
not even any encounter involving it to see what happens.
Oh, like whatever caused that will result in your death. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's the end of it. But however, and this is not something your character knows, but you as a player can know it. You cannot die until that point. Nothing will kill you as long as your despair is below 5. Hope is the opposite. Hope, you get a point of hope if you succeed on a roll that helps you either get closer to escaping the horror or defeating them. And if your hope reaches 5, you escape or defeat them, or however you are going about the situation.
What if dying is how I escape?
I mean, if we get something like that comes
Like
up,
in the Matrix or something.
we'll figure that out when it comes to it. Yeah, I don't know. You'll have to create a new mechanic, a new house rule. And then you also see that I have dread. Dread is basically my currency. Again, certain usually failed rolls will result in me gaining some amount of dread. I can spend that dread whenever I want to do bad things.
So I should be very worried if I start seeing you bank it.
Including the highest thing for 4 dread, I can raise the despair up by 1. So so that can happen. And that's really the basics of all that you need to know. Part of the game baked in is we are going to figure out who your character is and what the scenario actually is. That's like
all right.
Act 1.
And correct me if I'm wrong. I just saw a glimpse of this, and I didn't want to look too much into it and spoil, but I think you actually made a poll on Twitter.
I did. I asked people what type of horror they would like to see.
So do we have a result? You don't have to tell me.
We do. I actually did it on Twitter, and I also did one on our YouTube community page, and
Excellent.
both had the same winner. That's
Okay.
all. That's all I'll say.
Great.
Both had the same winner.
It's a perfect place to start then. That's why I like it. It gives us somewhere to go forward on.
So we now have. I just realized I'm drinking out of a green cup of water. So
Oh, I thought it was just a gray cup. I was just like, that's actually a really nice looking, like smoky cup or something. Oh, I mean, I have a green dye here, so I can like. It's not catching it now, or
isn't
maybe it's because my
technology great?
background's green.
Well, at any rate, so we are going to begin by creating this scenario, and really at this point, you're doing most of the heavy lifting for this part. It's you will be driving exactly what the scenario is, but I will be asking you a series of questions, and that we'll figure out where we are. So, are you ready?
Let's do this.
Okay, and also I guess we'll take this opportunity to say anyone watching. I don't think we're going to get too crazy, but this is a horror RPG. There will likely be violence and other traumatic things. So if you're not into that, if you're under 17, maybe don't watch the rest of this video, or at least don't tell your parents about it. Okay. So, happy Halloween. First question.
Oh, in addition,
yes.
I will not be looking. I was in the chat earlier, but I've left. So if you want to give any suggestions to Jonathan in the chat, by all means, I will not be able to see them.
Good. Yes. Good call. Well, I'll try to I'll keep an eye in the chat once in a while, but I'll probably try to not read too much out of it just to keep our spooky atmosphere.
Of course, but you never know if you're unsure and you see something really good.
Yes. Yes, I will have that open. All right. So, question number 1. You are somewhere isolated. Whoever your character is. Tell me where that place is. Choose where you want this story to be set, somewhere isolated, and what this place is like. And you can go. I don't know if we're setting this in modern times. Is this COVID era? It's up to you how you want to play. It could be the 80s, just because this is kind of inspired by that type of thing. But it could just be modern day.
As much as I love the 80s, I think it's hard not. How can we not decide to go with right now in a COVID era? Because that in itself is can be the isolation.
I think we're going to see a strain of horror movies in a year of that everybody made of people during the pandemic.
God, I mean, we already, even without the pandemic, Resident Evil is sort of like that. We're just going to take them all up a notch.
They're already wearing the masks in The Purge, and
yeah. So why don't we go with? Hopefully this will go with the poll results. Oops, almost dropped that.
Don't worry about those poll results.
I think modern time would be something really nice.
Okay, and where are you at?
Let's go how isolated does it mean? Are we talking Antarctica?
No, it doesn't have to be Antarctica. Somewhere between a remote cabin and outer space. Somewhere in the middle ground.
I like how outer space is not Antarctica.
I should have gone. The first one should have been the other extreme. I started with remote cabin.
But
you get the idea.
Yeah. Why don't we do
not a crowded city?
We're not going to do a crowded city. Let's do, because we're on the East Coast. Let's go with an ice, not like a cabin per se, but let's say this character is in a residence that's isolated in upstate New York or something.
Okay. So is it their house? Are they the only ones there? Are they a guest? Is it a let's well, actually, I mean, that is the next question. The next question is, why are you in this place?
Let's say how about we go with, it was some of whether it's me or not, we haven't decided on that yet, who the character themselves is. It was older relatives, and they're staying with them because of the whole pandemic situation, and they're older, so this person can go out and do things for them.
Okay, I like it. So we're getting real. Okay, so just one older relative? Is it? Let's get specific. Who is it? Is it your grandma?
Let's go with an uncle. Uncles are always great uncle.
Okay, all right.
And just the one, so we don't have anything sad with a couple die.
Yeah. Okay. So you're at an isolated home, your uncle's home in upstate New York, to help him out during the pandemic. Now the next question is, why does it pain you to be here? Something going on.
I don't think the pandemic is real, and I want to be partying.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. How about like for whatever reason I need to stay on my uncle's good side and like I really hate him. He's a jerk, but like I don't have anything else going on or something, so I was the one who drew the short straw to help him out.
Okay, okay. How about, I mean, I'm trying not to I'm trying to avoid anything too lascivious here, but what is the is there something in particular maybe that what makes your uncle such a bad dude?
Well, I think he's more of a know-it-all. He uses words like lascivious, which I don't know. Yeah, I would say he's very my way or the highway. Like he thinks he has. That's what. So like I'm helping out there, but he'll be like, "Don't put it there. Put it over in that corner or something." You know, uh, the extreme grouchy. I guess. God, I can't believe I'm blanking on it now. That the Christmas tale.
What, Ebenezer Scrooge?
Yeah, like that.
I think Falcon Ash K in the chat says it could be an abandoned city. Will is the only one. Maybe we'll use that for maybe a lot of the people in the surrounding area have left for gone to their own
Or
hideaways.
we can save that when it's your turn.
Yeah, yeah, that too. All right. So you're at your uncle's house. You don't like there's some bad family relations between him and the rest of the family, and you got stuck with it. What's your name? What's your character's name?
Uh, let's go with David.
All right. What's your uncle's name? What do you call him, Uncle Fred?
No, I'm not. I refuse. I've used Fred too much for like 3 lifetimes in role playing games. Uh, Lazarus.
La- like as in like risen from beyond the grave? His
Sure.
name
Why?
is that his first name?
He very religious. Brought up very
Okay.
strict.
Okay, so this is an old school kind of biblical fella. All right. Next question is, what do you look like? So are you, what's your character look like? Is it roughly, is it you, or is it something you go in a different direction?
I think let's go. I mean, I guess let's just generally look like me for now. Maybe we'll go a little bit fitter.
you
For-
you but during non-pandemic times, and you've been able to hit the gym more. Yeah. Okay. All right. So we'll keep it simple, and then it gives people a visual image for now.
yeah.
Now the next one here's an interesting one. Something went wrong yesterday. What was it? Maybe
I was
yeah.
lifting logs like wood for the fireplace, and I slipped and significantly like twisted my ankle, but I was told to walk it off.
So you have a twisted ankle right now?
I have an ankle that it hurts to walk
Oh
and
man.
move.
So that's something I could have done to you. You're taking away my options. You're hurting yourself before I get a chance. All right. And we kind of covered this one already, but maybe go into a little more detail. There should be someone else nearby, but there isn't. Where are they? Maybe there's something maybe more specific. Maybe another family member, or maybe a caretaker, or maybe just people in the neighborhood, neighbors, or something like that.
The uncle's daughter is usually the one who is home with him, but she had to leave, and we haven't heard from her in some time.
So he's your cousin?
Yes. Wait, yeah, because it's great uncle,
Oh, it's your great uncle, right?
so it'd be my aunt.
Oh, maybe. Now that I can only go as far as cousin. That's all I understand in terms of.
I'm fine with that. You get the. It could be just the cousin. We'll just go with cousin for now. Without,
Yeah, we'll call our cousin
I'll let you name her.
Rachel. All right. So, final question, and this is a real big one. This is for your character, of course. What are you most afraid of?
Oh, I thought I was gonna ask what's my Pokemon starter.
That's what
What
I'm most
is
afraid of.
David most afraid of?
What does David fear?
I think he has a unusual fear of insects.
Okay. All right. Insects of all kinds.
Yeah, he just doesn't like creepy crawlies.
Okay. All right. All right. That's never, yeah, you never want that. You never want creepy crawlies. Okay. All right. So we've established that David is hanging out. He has been called upon to take care of his great uncle. How old is great uncle Lazarus?
Old. I mean,
Oh, I guess he's a great uncle. Yeah, so he's probably not. Is he healthy or is he somewhat sickly?
I imagine he's your generic curmudgeon. So whatever you think would fit the story that you're starting to have in mind now.
Hmm.
I don't think I'm going to be picky about how healthy he is.
All right. I mean,
What
he's
kind of voice do you want to give him?
he's frail enough that he
I
you
guess he
know
has to be frail enough that someone needs to help him.
right. He
You
needs
know,
help.
he can't be like still like 6'4" and he's still like doing lumberjack.
Right. Yes. So yes, to some extent, he's a little bit weaker, and also, of course, he's high risk. So he doesn't. We don't want him. He can't leave the house for that reason and everything like that. Okay. So all right. So that anyway. So that's where we're established. And yesterday, you unfortunately sprained your ankle. So that's making it hard now for you to also take care of him. So soon you're going to need a caretaker to come over and help you out. But
All right for a bad thing. I just tried to think of your usual something that would already scare you in a horror movie, and
yeah, no, that's
anything that limits mobility, I feel like is a easy start.
yeah, that's perfectly fine by me. It's your call. Yeah, that sounds fine. So you're probably. I mean, I don't know anything about medical issues because I have never put myself in harm's way because I'm a coward. Does a sprained ankle that how long does that take to recover? Like a week, less, few days?
It depends how well you take care of it and if you stay off of it. And I'm gonna guess because I'm assuming Lazarus is not the kind of person who lets someone has rest. You know, he's not letting him stop work or anything. So my guess is it probably takes some time to heal. It's not something that's going to be uh, fully recovered in the next day, even if David like was able to find some time to ice it and stuff.
Okay, all right. So, it's snowing outside. You're in this big mansion. It's guess what? It's Halloween night.
Oh man,
And you
I
are
could be at all the Halloween parties and I'm stuck here with my uncle.
that's right. You're stuck here and you got a sprained ankle. You are sitting there the fire is going. You did bring in that firewood in spite of the trouble that you had with it. So at least the house is warm. Your uncle is in another room. You don't know what he does all day. He smokes cigars. He reads the newspaper if he can. If
I
he
try to avoid him because usually he gives you stuff when he sees you. So
Right, right. You don't want to have to deal with any of that. And of course, he's been giving you even harder time now that you went and hurt
hurt
yourself.
myself because it's my fault. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. But it is Halloween and it is snowing. You don't expect any trick or treaters for a number of reasons. Least of which being, I mean,
How
it's
I assume this is very isolated. I'm assuming like cabin in the woods, kind of.
yeah. I think we
Maybe that's a
are.
bit too far, but
You're not exactly in the. There are houses. This is there's,
it's the
but this
kind of
is
thing when you drive for like a few miles and you're like, "Is there anything around here?"
yeah. It's more remote. It's certainly more remote. Your great uncle's the kind of guy who likes this kind of thing. Uh,
Is this a mansion? Sorry, did you say?
I don't know. That's up to you. I mean, I don't know how if it's a mansion or maybe it's just a. I'm picturing kind of a classier, larger house in my head, but
Yeah, it's something I guess that would probably be bigger. I mean, I also assume this for this guy to have the clout that someone has to deal with him. He probably has some money or something. There's probably something
Right,
involved here.
right. Happy Halloween, by the way, to Mark and AJ and everyone else in the chat.
I'm sorry I cannot see those comments. I'm trying to keep myself from any spoilers you may tools you'll give Jonathan later
Yeah.
on.
Anyway, it's about to get spooky. So anyway, you're sitting by the fire and you've got like a
Nice.
heating pad on your ankle, and you're
Ugh.
trying to make it feel better. Yeah, that's what it is. The wind is blowing outside. You think there'd be cell reception in this neck of the woods?
If it's anything like the out of doors areas I know, it's going to be spotty.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's probably
Like
safe to say.
probably like not even like it's just usually one bar. It's like this room has 4 bars. This one has 0. This one depends on what the weather's like. you know.
Yeah, yeah, I can see that. So you're hanging out, you're sitting there, you're looking at your I don't know. I guess you're looking at maybe you're reading a good book. I don't know. What are you doing? What does David do in his leisure time?
I think, like you said, I don't think the self reception is enough for him to like check Facebook or anything really well. Like part of it would load, but not the scroll. So he's checking every now and then. But because of that, he'll check his phone. But yes, he is not too addicted to his screens. That I think he has. He's because during these times he's picked up books, and I think currently he's trying to make it through Moby Dick.
Oh man, I've been meaning to read into that one at some point myself. Sorry, I was looking for
I thought it was too on the
candy.
nose to go with Frankenstein.
Yeah, I get it. Or Lovecraft or something.
To be clear, though, he's reading the Wishbone version.
Right. Oh yeah. Hey, that scared me when I was a child. I was
No. I mean, I
terrified.
still have. It's not. It wasn't. I don't think it's on the set anymore. But we had the Wishbone Frankenstein book behind me.
Well, David fondly recalls Wishbone, and David is hanging out, and you're sitting there in your chair, well, your uncle's chair. You're trying to make yourself feel at home in spite of your terrible circumstances. When you hear a heavy knock like that at the door. By the way, for also people at home, I have no dice. All the dice are on you, so that's all I have to focus on is my little imagination and whatever you come up with.
And voices and noises, apparently.
That's right. So you hear that coming from the front door, which is you can't say that you expected it. It's around 6 o'clock. It's the sun is starting to set.
I put down the book, and groan as I get out of my chair, and I limp towards the window that would look outside to see if I can see like a car or something. Like, is it a delivery? Like, I know Amazon comes up here occasionally and stuff.
Are you you're just looking out the window. There's
Yeah,
no.
just look out the window if I see anything. Like, just because, like, I'm like, who comes here? What is it? Is it like, nothing like, oh my God, kind of thing. It's just the usual, like, is it a delivery person? Is it like,
Yeah, there is a driveway. There's no gate or anything. There's like kind of a large yard and a walkway out in front with a lamp post down by the front and by the end of the driveway. But it's we're still relatively well lit, as I said. The sun hasn't completely gone down yet. You don't see any car. You don't see any sign of any vehicles anywhere. It looks the area just looks pretty remote. In fact, it's snowing outside, and you don't see tire tracks either.
confused? I start, oh, wait, am I on the ground floor or
Yeah,
second?
yeah, you're on the
Okay.
ground floor.
I hobble towards the front door. And by the way, Jonathan, I swear, if it turns out my great uncle hired the same architects as Resident Evil people,
Yeah, isn't his name Uncle Spencer?
oh God, I'm gonna need a lion token and a wolf token.
Yeah, that'll come up later. So you opening that door?
I assume that, yeah, there wouldn't be a peephole. I don't think. I assume this is an older house because
You tell me.
usually that's. Yeah, let's go with an older house. It just feels like it should be. Like maybe it's had some renovations, but overall it's like a classical, because we're in the upstate New York. It makes sense we might find a bigger, older house in that area.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I feel that it's an old creaky kind of a place, and I mean the
With lots
fact
of
that
nooks and crannies.
I don't know if there even is a doorbell. That's why there's just like a big heavy door knocker. So it's that old school. And sorry, you said you are opening the door.
I am opening the door.
All right, you open the door and creak.
Oh God, I gotta oil this.
Uh, you you look out, you look out, obviously expecting to see someone there, at least anticipating it. But in fact, there is no one there. There is no one standing there.
I do like look out to the sides.
Hmm.
I assume I don't see anything.
You do
Like
not see anything to the sides. No.
I look in the snow to see like any weird prints or something.
You look down at the ground, and you see prints. No, sorry. Just it was. I tried to do it. Don't forget about it.
I
You
think I know exactly what you're trying to
you
do.
look you look down at the ground. You don't see any kinds of prints. You don't see footprints or anything like that. You see a rather like looks like a swarm of not a swarm, but you see like a decent amount of ants crawling through the snow. It looks like they've found food or some substance that they are interested in, and they're carrying
Oh,
it
oh,
somewhere.
oh no! I immediately just close the door. I'm like, oh God. I start walking back. I'm just like, I probably heard knocking of like either like a woodpecker or something, or like great uncle like just hit something against the wall or whatever. Just I don't want to deal with that outside. Oh God.
Well, as you're walking away in disgust, you hear your uncle call from upstairs. Who's at the door? That's your
That wasn't you?
uncle. What are you
I
talking about?
I shout because I need to.
Of course it wasn't me. I'm
I
upstairs. Who was
I
knocking?
I there was no one there. I opened the door there. Not even prints in this or a car or anything. You sure you didn't like just hit the wall, or do you think or something dropped an item or something?
No. No, I don't think so. Could be some kids playing a prank.
There are kids around here.
I don't know, neighborhood kids. Sometimes kids today are always getting into trouble. You know that. You were like that too. You're still like that. Anyway,
Oh,
what's for dinner? Did you get food?
there's food in the fridge. There's a leftover turkey from last night, as well as a small salad.
I don't want a salad.
All right. I'll cook something else up.
Yeah, when Rachel was here, she would make me lasagna every Friday night.
Well, today's Thursday.
Well, we always had leftovers for the whole week because that's how much she made.
All right. I'll see if I have the
Make
ingredients for
some
lasagna.
lasagna. I'm just saying, put a little bit of effort into it. And if
All right.
the someone knocks on the door again, maybe we just call the police to tell them to get out of here.
Uh, all right. All right. Begrudgingly, because I don't want to deal. I know as soon as I say like that's a weird idea or anything, he's just gonna go on an entire rant about how Rachel is so much better than me. I mean, nothing against Rachel, but it's just dealing with him. Sometimes the best way to deal is just nod and move forward.
Yeah, yeah, that's understandable. So you head into the kitchen.
I believe that is where I'm going to hobble. Yes.
Okay, you hobble your way into this large kitchen, and I guess you start rummaging around to see if you can cook something.
Well, he said lasagna, so first things first. Is there any pasta sheets? Any kind of pasta in fact.
There's a couple
Because
boxes.
I don't know if I knew about this and if I made these purchases.
There's a couple of boxes of just like rigatoni, no, that's all you have in terms of pasta.
I can work with that. All right. Is there either tomatoes or any kind of already pre-made sauce?
Yeah, yeah. I think you've got some fresh. You've got tomatoes. You've got veggies.
All right. I start boiling the pasta. It's not lasagna, and I know he's gonna complain about it, but maybe I can make something similar, like a casserole of some. Technically, lasagna is a casserole, but a more deconstructed, more like lasagna bowl kind of thing, except a little bigger because he wants lasagna leftovers. I probably could put the turkey in there as well for a good protein, and use that up as well.
Turkey lasagna. All right, we got a cooking lesson in here too. All right. So you're doing this. You're preparing this makeshift meal when the phone rings. Not your cell phone, but there's a landline in a.
Honestly, I assumed that by the word phone. For some reason, it's like if he says phone, it's got to be.
Well,
If he's
because this doesn't ring. This isn't for ringing. This is for texting.
well, no, that's us, Jonathan. Other people actually have ringtones. I know it's weird.
I don't know. Not us.
Apparently,
not
some
us
people have not
Zoomers.
heard Weird Al's song.
But anyway, you hear the ringing of a telephone, old-fashioned kind of telephone. It's often a different room of the house. It's kind of like alongside a hallway, offshoot from the kitchen.
How far is it from?
I mean, like it's like in the next hallway. It's connected to the kitchen.
All right. If I've been cooking for some time, I'm assuming the pasta's already started. I'm gonna turn off the heat to be safe, because
Okay.
God knows I don't like leaving a kitchen with a flame going.
Okay, good thinking.
And I put down the knife because cutting up vegetables, prepping the sauce, all that fun stuff, and I make my way towards the phone.
All right.
I'm going to pick it up when I go there.
Oh. All right, you pick it up. Hello?
Hello. Oh, we chose first names. We didn't have last names.
Now's your chance.
Lazarus. Give me a last name, Jonathan. That sounds good.
Jones.
Jones residence. How can I help you?
David?
Yeah,
that you?
this is David.
Hey, it's Rachel.
Oh, hey, wow, I could not recognize you with the phone. It is, God, it's been forever. How are you doing?
Yeah, the signal's bad. I just wanted to call and find out how everything's going over there.
Oh, same old, same old. He wants your lasagna, which of course I'm doing the best I can. Unfortunately, I wish I knew beforehand so I could get some actual lasagna pasta, but I'll make it work.
Huh. Okay. And he's he's doing okay. He's in good shape and everything.
I mean, as best as he always is.
Yeah. Okay. Before I left, I had installed one of those little motion sensor security cameras, and I got a little alert on it.
I'm just gonna put my hand down because some reason.
Yeah, we believe it still. Do you know? Are there people over at the house besides you?
I mean,
it's coming from the backyard.
I didn't know about this camera. I know there's a knock on the front door, and when I opened it, there was no one there, not even tracks. So I just assumed like I misheard it as something else bumping up against the wall, like a woodpecker or something.
Yeah, it probably is that. It's probably not anything else. Just
where is this camera? I don't remember anyone telling me about this.
it's out in the backyard. It's just a motion sensor. It doesn't. I don't have.
Oh, it doesn't actually record or anything.
I don't
It
have
just
a
tells
feed
you.
or anything. Yeah.
All right.
It's just supposed to go off. It sends a little alert to my phone. I still have the app and everything.
Oh man, that would be definitely cool to get a camera. There's probably some great wildlife around here.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I got kind of spooked by the woods. I think there's bears or coyotes.
Hey, I'll take
Coyotes?
I'll take those over ants any day.
Yeah, I guess so. I think there's those too. Yeah, spiders, owls.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's better. That's better.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I would just make sure doors locked, windows latched, just in case, because I just get a bad feeling around that area, that neighborhood. Sometimes
Uh,
things get creepy.
all right, I'm pretty sure most of the doors are locked, except I just opened the front door. I don't know if I locked it once I closed it. So I'll go check that right after this.
Okay. All right. Well, if you need anything, you know, call me. I tried your cell phone, but I guess maybe the signal wasn't going through, so that's
Oh
why I
my
went to the
God, you have
house.
no idea. It's just been on and off and on. It's like
Yeah.
playing a game of memory to find out what corner of the house it works in.
Yeah. That's rough. Anyway, call me. I gotta go. I'm really busy. Okay. Good
All
luck.
right, bye.
Click. She hangs up.
I'm so glad she still says click.
Yeah.
I'm gonna quickly hobble my way to the front door to check on it before heading back into the kitchen.
All right. On your way back, well, no, sorry, not on your way back. You get there. You get to the front door, and not only did is the door not locked, in fact, it is fully wide open.
Ah, shit.
See, put your kids to bed. This is what can happen on Halloween. Anything's game.
I quickly go to close the door.
Yeah, the wind is rushing in. It's getting much colder outside. Um, let's yeah, sure. Let's make this an uneasy an uneasy roll. Let's get things started right now. So, if you would roll a die for me,
I have rolled.
and what did you get? A 5. All right. So, I on a 4 or 5 for an uneasy roll, that is a lesser success. So you will get not quite what you wanted, but pretty much what you wanted. You have the option, if you would like, before I go into detail, of you can try again the same thing, but if you try again, it becomes a tense action. It bumps up a level.
No, I think I should take the luck I've got of just getting a lesser right now. Plus, it's a door. What's gonna happen? It fly off of the hinges or something?
It just flattens you. So yeah, the wind is really coming in hard, and this is an old, heavy wooden door, and you kind of have to, especially with your twisted ankle, you've got to twisted or sprained. Is there a difference?
That I do not know off the top of my head.
That's just semantics, I think.
Injured ankle.
Yeah, you are struggling against it. You do manage to finally, with a heavy thud, slam the door shut, and as you do, the lock mechanism on the front door just pops right off from above the knob. Like this thing is old, it's rusted off.
You've got to be kidding me.
Somehow off of that. So the door is currently closed, but you don't have a way of locking it.
I look around the atrium and see is there any like a heavy chair or something?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. There's definitely there's chairs. There's like you're looking for an armchair. You're looking for a.
I'm looking for furniture to push up against a door to, in essence, lock it, quote unquote. Wait, I assume this door swung inward.
That's correct. Yeah.
Because this would have been pretty pointless.
Yeah, you were just pulling. Come on.
I mean,
Yeah, I guess I could have. I guess I could have happened.
I feel like most doors that go to the outside swing inward, but I didn't take architect classes.
Me either. So you, yes. Would you like to? Are you going to pull one of those chairs over?
I will do so. Actually, I'll probably more push. I think pushing would probably be easier on my ankle.
Yeah, that makes sense. So you're as you start to push this chair, and your uncle comes down the stairs smoking a big cigar, as he likes to do, and now he's agitated. He says, "Well, what's all the commotion? What's going on? Did someone else come to the door again? Why did you slam that door like that?"
Because the door popped itself open when I tried to close it. As you can see, the lock just apparently popped out. As I point to the lock
What do you mean
mechanism
the
on the
lock
ground.
popped out?
I don't know. It's not attached to the door anymore.
Okay, well, that's never happened any time I've ever closed the door. It's worked every time I've gone in and out of my own home. You can't. Like what's going on? Are you on drugs?
No, I am not on drugs.
Okay, because it would explain, your clumsy behavior. You're hurting yourself. Are you drinking? Maybe you're drinking. Did you go into my stash, my wines,
No, I did not touch your
my
stash.
good scotch?
No.
Okay, I know how much is in there. I'm gonna
Go
check
ahead
it.
and check.
Well, what are you doing? You pushing that chair?
Yes, I'm going to push the chair up against the door to work as a lock until tomorrow morning when I can go out and try to fix this, or maybe have to go out and buy a new lock from the locksmith or warehouse down
Yeah.
the town.
Well, you're in the meantime, you're making me feel sorry for you, watching you struggle with that and your sad, twisted leg. So why don't I give you a hand, since I apparently have to do everything around here.
I roll my eyes because I know there's really no way to say no to him.
Well, you can
And
roll
like,
your eyes, and then you can roll your dice. Uneasy action, but you get an extra die because he's helping you push this thing up against the door.
all right, so I just take the higher one.
That's correct.
All right, good. It was a 5.
All right, and I assume you're going to accept this result once again.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. All right. You're both together are able to push this thing up against the door. By the way, I mean it probably wouldn't probably doesn't apply in this situation, but the normal rules for when someone helps you, it's like 1 through 3. They just, or no, I think it's on a higher level one. Probably not on uneasy. On some of them, they just get killed.
Well, you could have in this one you could have been like chandelier fell.
Yeah, I guess that's true. It could have been real bad, but no, that's not what happens. You manage to get the chair up against the door. It doesn't look like the most secure thing in the world, but it should hold for what Again, you're not expecting visitors. There's no one around. You don't anticipate anything being super unsafe at the moment. So that's accomplished. Where's my dinner? Dinner ready?
Almost. I just need to go back and do the final touches.
All right. Well, I'm going to go sit in the dining hall with my newspaper and peruse it whilst I wait for you to finish cooking.
All right. I go to hobble back to the kitchen.
All right. Now, how you left it? You turned the stove off, right, or whatever you were.
Correct.
Um,
Even though I assume the pasta's been cooking for some time, the water already boiled. I put in the
it
pasta.
was simmering.
Yeah.
All right, it was simmering upon the stove. All right, so you go back to check. You go back to check on it. Oh, I want to make sure I'm not forgetting. No, I don't think I'm forgetting anything just yet. You go back to check on the food, see everything looks good. Your veggies are out and all that. You remove the. I assume you had a lid. You covered up this pasta.
Sure.
That's what you
I
do,
mean,
right?
I don't. Maybe because I'm lazy. I just throw the pasta in.
All right. Well, then there was no lid. Then there wasn't a lid. There was no lid. But as you go up, inside the pot, in addition to boiling water and simmering water now, and the pasta that you poured in as well, it looks like more ants.
Holy.
They have snuck their way. Somehow they have gotten into the pasta, and some of them are, they're doing that weird thing where you've seen where ants can form a bridge in water and use it to cross places.
I mean, David does not know about this. He doesn't watch any videos on insects doing that.
So to David, this is a whole new phenomenon, but
yeah,
they're entangled amongst themselves, and so some of them are forming a bridge, and other ones are crawling over, and they're taking pieces of the pasta.
Isn't it still in water?
Yeah, no, I'm telling you, they can do. Ants are crazy.
Okay, I'm trying to understand what the ants are doing.
Yeah, they're
more making a raft.
Yeah, they're making
okay.
sort of, yeah, they're keeping it afloat, keeping themselves afloat in the water. Some of them are making their way towards the veggies and such too.
Oh god! I quickly grab a a small towel or paper napkin or something and try to quickly brush them away from the veggies and try to like step on some on the ground. Like I'm just like, oh God, get out. Jeez. Oh, there goes a die.
Yeah, let's make this an uneasy roll to see how you can try to. And I will remind you that you can, to get an extra die, introduce a scar, which would be something from your past that might be relevant to help you in a situation like this, or you can't put yourself on just an uneasy one, but the scar.
Oh, this is for some reason I thought this was higher.
Yeah, no, no, this is still we're gonna call this.
I will reveal a scar about David.
We would love that. So
because I think this is also the kind of thing that would raise his anxiety. One time, flashback. You know, he was exploring. His whole family's from this general area, so he used to like going out in the woods. You know, had a vivid imagination, and he really, he loves. That's why like bears don't care about that. Those are cool and stuff. But of course, he's a dog person and cats and stuff. He likes pets. And one time he came across what he thought he saw like in the distance, like a dog. So he ran up to it and realized it was a corpse covered in maggots, just like ripping through the skin and popping out, like coming out the eye socket. Like this is where the fear of insects, just seeing something being devoured by them, by like thousands of maggots, came from.
Yeah, that's gross. That's unpleasant. Yeah. So yes, okay, good scar, and indeed that does, and I will. This is the magic of our little system here. I will now take your anxiety up to 2. That increases your anxiety by 2
I think
points.
that's pretty fair considering even for me.
Yeah, nobody wants this.
Well, to be fair, I'm starting at a base of 8.
Oh yeah, right. Of course. In generally speaking, yeah. So, yeah. So, but as a silver lining for recalling this and how much you despise bugs and why they hurt, why they scarred you so much, you get an extra die to roll as you attempt to get rid of them and clean up this mess. Uh-oh. Sounds good.
Double ones.
All right. Well, unfortunately, it didn't help you. So, as a result of a failure on this one, I will receive 1 dread.
Uh-oh.
I have 1 dread. Now, I need, if I get 2 dread, I can spend that to give you a consequence. Just like something negative that happens to you. But, so with 1, I'm nothing to worry about just yet. And you may so basically you're trying to clean everything up. It's just not working. They're all over the place. It's too messy. You can either try to come up with some other solution to deal with this, a different way to clean up this problem and make another uneasy check, or you can try the same thing again and increase it to tense.
I'm going to light the entire house on fire.
That's a way to go.
No, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for like Windex or some kind of cleaning spray. I assume kept under the sink or something, and try to spray the ants and see if that deters them.
Not Raid or something like that?
I think Raid would be a little too potent.
Kitchen area, fire. I get, yeah. All right, I see. All right. Yeah, I think that you can. I think you can find there's some cleaning spray, stuff like that underneath the kitchen cabinets.
I grab it and I just start spraying the biggest clump of ants.
All right. You're spraying a big clump of ants. So go ahead and make another uneasy roll.
Just the one, right?
Yeah, I think just the one die, unless you've got a scar you want to introduce that has to do with cleaning supplies.
Well then.
which you're free to do.
No, not yet. 5. That's my lucky number in this horror story.
Okay. Well, this is enough to uh, definitely kill all of the ants that are in the immediate area. Unfortunately, of course, it also results in you pretty much destroying this dinner. I mean, if it was even salvageable in the first place, I already was crawling with bugs, but now there's cleaning stuff everywhere. I mean, spills. There's a mess, and wouldn't you know it, that's exactly when old Uncle Lazarus comes walking in from the dining hall. He wants to know, demands to know what's going on. He sees you standing there, disheveled, spraying around dead piles of dead bugs on the kitchen floor, and he blows his top, and he shouts at you, "What's wrong with you? What's going on?" That's how mad he is. That's how much he raises his voice. What happened in here this time?
You literally do not see all these ants everywhere?
How did they get in here? Did you
I
leave
don't
food
know.
out?
Well, just for a second as I went to the door. Because I was cooking.
Yeah. Well, you're not supposed to. You should have paid attention to the food. If you leave food out, ants will come in. This is an old house. They get in through the cracks and things. You have to be vigilant.
But yeah, maybe 1 or 2, but this is like this is like 3 hives.
I don't know.
I'm exaggerating.
I don't know. Ant hives? They live in farms, right? Anyway, I mean, this is I don't know what you're gonna do. You have to clean this up. Maybe I just won't eat anything. Maybe I'll just go upstairs and
Look, let me clean this up. I'll find something else to make. Just give me a little bit.
yeah, okay, sure. Try not to screw anything else up. He stomps off. He's very disgruntled. And as he a few minutes go by, you're cleaning things up, and you hear what sounds like once again a knocking, but this time it comes not from the front door, but from the back of the house.
Like on a window or
You're not sure. It doesn't sound like glass. It sounds like it's on a door or a panel of the house.
is the kitchen on the backside of the house?
No, I think the kitchen is towards the front.
Okay. I mean, well, I generally look at the direction. I just go, forget about it. And I just got to keep cleaning. I'm already pissed them off enough as it is. It's gonna be the same crap as before, where I'm not gonna see anyone, and then somehow the ants are gonna come back. So I'm just like, I don't care if it's a person and they really need help, they'll scream. So I just keep cleaning and.
All right. All right. You ignore it. So you
Plus,
are.
I'm in the middle of nowhere. What are the chances it's a person?
Fair enough. So you continue with you continue cleaning up.
Mm-hmm.
Everything goes relatively smoothly. Let me just get some. Just gonna roll. Not really. I don't really roll dice. It just felt good to roll some. You hear again, louder this time, more insistent, coming from the back of the house, and it sounds almost like footsteps running around. And the wind is howling.
I assumed I've cleaned up at this point mostly.
Yeah, I think by now 5 or 10 minutes have gone by.
I go partially because I'm annoyed about this, but also, David, I'm trying to hold back throwing up, cleaning up all these ant corpses. So I think, getting out of the room for a little bit will help. Hopefully. Yeah. Yes. Or maybe I might be throwing up very soon.
Some fresh air. Some fresh air is always good. So, sorry, you're heading to the back of the house?
Yes.
Are you...
I'm looking for a window to look outside.
Okay, yeah. There's like a common room, a different sort of a... I don't know. I guess there's a library at the back of the house, and there's.
I thought I was in. Isn't that where I started?
Oh, I don't know. I was thinking like a living room. All right, this is the living room then. That was the library. Anyway, it's a room with a window in it. It's a den, let's say.
Yeah.
And it now it's starting to get darker. It's a little bit harder to see, and now the snow is also coming down harder, and the
How many
wind is
inches?
stronger. There's like a good solid inch of snow on the ground. Not nothing crazy, but it looks like it's shaping up to be a decent sized storm for the night.
Well, I look outside. I remember thinking, like, well, at the very least, I should kill all those six-legged freaks.
There you go.
That's right. The cold kills ants. That's what David thinks. There's
David's not an educated fella. Like Six-Legged Freaks is the prequel to Eight-Legged Freaks, that movie. All right. Anyway,
it's a spider, man.
yeah, that was a good joke. That was a fun movie. So anyway, oh, there's a little cat over there. Okay, so you there's not a cat in the game, unfortunately. You look out the window and you do not see any cats. It's hard to make anything out, but you think you see like some shadows, a shadow moving around the back of the house, and as you see that, you hear from another corner of the house, now closer to the front, more banging and knocking and footsteps running back and forth. You're starting to feel a little, harangued, annoyed by. It seems like everywhere you go, the sound sounds like it's coming from somewhere else.
Um, I'm gonna go to the phone because I'm annoyed, freaking out. I've just got talked to and demeaned for something that wasn't my fault. Having to deal with insects. I'm gonna take my uncle's advice from earlier and call the cops.
Fair enough. So you're using the landline?
I That would be my first guess because I know that's a guaranteed.
Yeah,
Or no, or guaranteed.
yeah, you know that it works. Yeah, I don't think you because you can pick up the phone and you don't need to roll any dice for that. You're very capable of dialing a number. I assume you know. Does David know the number for 911?
I hope so.
Yeah, I think he does.
Oh,
So,
wait, actually, wait. Before I call 911, is there anyone else I know in the area? Like, is it just Rachel? And I don't know where she is, but
um, you could, um, if you would like, you could use a scar to introduce someone else that you think would be in the if there's like a neighbor or something like that, and if you think they would help, and you could call them and you could get a benefit from them.
I'm more trying to think of what would be a good scar. I can't think of anything for now. Let's just call 911. I'm
All right, that's up to you. If you can just keep on with that. All right, so you're not sure if there's somebody around. Most people went left for the season, the flu season, we'll call it. And regardless, there's a storm brewing, and it's Halloween, and it's late, and people are busy, and you're freaked out. So you think the police are probably best suited for this. So you dial 911, and you get a hello 911. What's your emergency?
Hi. I'm calling from which is the address.
Yeah, blah 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 blah. We know it well.
And I don't know if there's someone around. We keep hearing knocking around the house, and I keep seeing movement from outside, like someone's here, and I don't know what's going on. And is there any way you could send someone up here to check it out?
Sure. I mean, things are kind of busy. It's Halloween, and everything is a little backed up because kids are playing pranks, and people are going out there with or without masks of different types. It's a whole thing. But yeah, I mean, we can. I don't know when they'll be able to get to you, but we can have a car go by and check the place out.
All right, I appreciate very much. Again, the address is
Yeah, da 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 da.
55555.
123 Pine Road. Yeah, all right.
Is there? I know movies like or not movie phone numbers always 555 is the make a fake phone number.
I don't
Is
think
there like the address everyone uses?
I don't think they have the Evergreen Terrace. That's doesn't exactly count. Yeah, no, I don't think so. Anyway, so yeah, so they agree to that, and they hang up. Um, you pretty much as soon as you hang up the phone, you hear what sounds like. Oh, actually, you know what? Um,
Roll a die and see if I can hang up the phone. Mm.
I probably, uh, strictly speaking, I feel like you technically should have to roll for this. I'm gonna fudge the rules a little bit,
Hey,
because
look, for a good story. That's what's important, right?
well, no, it's not even that, but I think that counts as um, something towards a point of getting you away from whatever this thing is. I'm going to give you 1 point of hope in exchange for that. Strictly speaking, by the rules, I should have made you roll to see how that went, but it seemed like I handled the police. I made an executive decision. So and to keep it moving a little bit. So enjoy your hope. You're 1/5 of the way to victory.
It's the only one I'm getting.
Now then, that's your freebie since this is your first time. Hoser also says 1313 Mockingbird Lane. That should be your
All
your
right.
address. So okay, so that happens. Right as you hang up the phone, you hear what's a sound that you can't say you've ever exactly heard before, but somehow it's unmistakable as anything else. But it's
Jet plane engine or jet engine falling from the sky and landing in a
not
bedroom.
quite that bad. It's the sound of a door being thrust open and a chair that was blocking it being pushed over out to the side.
Oh, you have got to be kidding me. I go to hobble quickly towards the front door.
All right, as you approach the front door, you can see, yes, the chair that you put there. Uh, the wind blew it open. Whatever it is, it didn't hold, and it's toppled over in front of it. Doors blown open. Again, the wind is streaming in. It's making all kinds of crazy sounds. You go out to the front door, and looking out in the distance, again, it's getting darker now. It's almost pretty much nighttime outside in terms of just darkness. You know how day and night works. There's a sun and a moon. It's a whole thing. I'll explain it to you later. But out by the lamp. What do you call that? Street lamp, I guess.
I'd say lamp because this is more outside. Like street lamp is something where I think it's more like a more suburban, like much more tightly packed area. I assume like they have their own lights, and I think lamp would be just the right term.
All right, good. We'll call it a lamp then. Down by the corner of the yard, you see what looks like a tall, lanky figure, dressed in all black, maybe at least 6 feet tall. Not like inhumanly tall, but a tall fella. It's hard to tell exactly from the distance, and you assume that they are staring out at you, but they are currently wearing a what looks like a black mask, like
How detailed can I see? Is it more like it looks like it might be something, or is it like I can really see the details of the mask and the coat and
you can definitely see that it's a person. I mean, there may be.
person being the
Yeah. You see a person for sure. I mean, that's what you are. That's what your brain is telling you, is that you see a person with arms, hands, legs, all that stuff. It's almost like a like a rubber like the rubber man suit like in American Horror Story.
the entire thing or just the mask?
Just the mask. Like it's like a ski mask, I guess. But you're not really sure. It doesn't look like ski mask material. It's more like
Glossy,
yeah,
strange.
like maybe like a leatherish type of thing covering their whole head, and they're just standing there.
Uh, hello?
All right, you gonna yell hello to them?
Yes, I am. Can I
They
help you?
they stare back at you,
Can I see
motionless.
eyes?
Nope, you can't make out any. It
Okay.
doesn't look like
I
there's no
get the reason why
holes.
I'm asking is like, did his head move like, vroom? Like I'm just wondering.
No, not there. They've from what you've seen, they've just been standing totally still,
Interesting. You used the word they.
angled in your direction.
I say, this is private property. You need to leave.
Um, I guess make a tense roll and see if you're convincing enough.
And I can only add a die through
Here's how you can add a die.
star.
You can either push this one. You could push. So
Okay, that's what I want to do.
okay.
I was making sure.
So you can describe. You have to like what are you doing to make this one extra? But you will be increasing your anxiety,
I know,
and it is going
I
to
think
be. You will
this
roll
is
a die, and that will tell
Mhm.
you how much it goes up by.
And I only had one.
One extra die, correct.
Yeah.
You can do multiple things. So, for instance, if you also wanted to, like, your uncle could help you. You can have a max of 3 dice for a roll. So technically, you do a scar as well as pushing if you wanted to.
We'll save that for later.
Okay.
But we'll just go with the anxiety push. You know, I'm shouting things like, "You need to leave now." You know, just trying to.
You're being very emphatic.
Yes.
So roll 1 die first, so we can find out what your anxiety.
Oh, I thought that happened
does.
after the end. I mean, it doesn't matter either way, but
Probably doesn't matter. I think according to the rules, it happens first.
2.
Okay, all right, not so bad. Could have been very bad, but that's
No, you can put that up.
no,
by
no,
2.
no, no, no. We're not affecting hope. Anxiety 4, and
All
2
right.
dice. Let's see what happens. Tense roll.
Once again, 5's my number.
Okay, so for a 5, I am going to receive a dread. For a tense roll, I now have 2 dread. Now,
No.
now, is this? I believe you have a. No, I guess that's just for a failure. You have a choice, so you don't have a choice on this one. Sorry. Well, you do have a choice actually. You could accept this, or you could once again. I guess the dread doesn't take place yet. You could raise this to a desperate roll and try again to get a better result. Or you could stick with this, and you will be receiving a half success as well as you will get some kind of a negative consequence. That consequence could also be dread, more dread. It depends on what the situation is.
I mean, I don't think I'm gonna roll better than a 5.
Yeah, that's fair. And you pushed yourself and all that.
Yeah.
All right. So, what exactly are you shouting?
I, the initial this is private property. You need to leave. I'm sorry, I don't recognize you. Can you get away, sir? Sir?
Okay. All right. So,
Can I see your manager?
this person, they definitely, they heed your advice to a point. They leave the immediate area. They don't walk back. They don't look like they're exiting the property. Instead, they walk sort of down the driveway past around the side of the house to where there are no lights on the other side of the house. You can't see exactly where they went. They just disappear, and I'm just gonna also take one more point of dread, too. That's what I'm gonna do. And so they're no longer where they were. They're not coming towards you, but they're around the side of the house, and you can't see where they went. You don't know where they went.
I am not happy about that. Not at all.
I wouldn't be either.
I go to try to quickly close the door again.
All right. Are you? You can close the door, but it is, again, not secured.
Right. I'm still gonna push the armchair up next to it. That is nearby.
Okay.
I think I could.
Yeah. It's a little. It did topple over. So are you gonna try to flip it, or are you just?
Yes, I'm gonna try to flip it first.
All right. Let's do an uneasy roll then. Let's see how we get.
Guess what?
Man, you're all about the 5s. All right. Well,
I wish it was 6s.
would you like to try it again on 10s?
No.
All right. You push it up against the door. Unfortunately this time you can't flip it. You don't manage. It's just too heavy, and with your ankle, you're just not able to get the leverage you need.
That's fine. I'm gonna go and push some more furniture up against it, the door.
All right.
Just try to make things heavier at least.
All right. You can find. What do you want? You were looking for more chairs, couch,
Like either a
table.
chair, a couch, or a desk would be great.
Well, there definitely are couches and desks, but I don't. You don't think you're going to be able to manage them by yourself with your ankle?
Not even trying to drag it. You don't think?
I guess you could try. You could try.
Let's go for it.
Well, make it. Hmm. I think it'll be a tense roll though.
All
So,
right.
and again, at any time you could try to push yourself or do a scar. What do we got? Man, are those weighted dice? Do those always give you a 5 because it's less suspicious than a 6?
I feel like it's almost worse. It's mocking me. It's like, oh, you almost had it. Oh, you almost had it.
All right. Well, again, I'm obligated to inform you that you have the right to make a desperate roll to attempt it again.
This is
Uh,
not the fun time to do so.
but outside of that, unfortunately, I will be receiving another dread.
Um,
And I mean, you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead right now and spend the 4 dread and raise the despair by 1. So we're looking at 1 despair and 1 hope, even Steven. And that's all my dread. What did you find? A desk, couch? What's better
the
for you?
couch. I think couch would be easier for me to drag. You put your, yeah, I'm holding the arm of the couch and pulling it.
You are able to drag a couch, and this time, with this much stuff in front of the door, it looks like you probably did block it up pretty well. Unfortunately, in the process, it really, really hurt your ankle, and now, like, more so than before, it's like inflamed. You're really feeling pain down there. It's harder to get around.
Is there like an umbrella stand near the front door?
Yeah, there's like a coat rack and an umbrella stand, sure.
Is there something like an umbrella, or even if I'm lucky enough, a walking stick that I can use to try to help?
Hmm. No, could you introduce a scar that has to do with an umbrella or a walking stick? Or a time in your life where you had to answer a door, I
Uh,
don't even know what you want to do with this, to be honest. I'm just.
just to help me move around the house. I
Oh,
mean,
I
I
see.
assume.
Oh, like a. Oh, okay. Yeah, I see. Like a. Yeah. I think you should come up if you can give me a scar that has something to do with any kind of an object or experience that would relate to propping yourself up, or maybe a family member that uh, maybe
Um,
maybe your uncle has a cane. He's probably kind of an old fella. We established that, but
when I was a kid, this is my first time in this household. The family gatherings here, and I was playing. As kid, the young, we were younger. This is like I want to say around 6 ish. Playing with the other kids around my age, and I don't know, maybe I bumped into a vase or something,
ooh, a vase, fancy.
and of course, Lazarus was nearby to hear and see it, and this is still like I'm assuming I'm in my. Oh, if I'm in my third, actually, no, wait, this doesn't work. Unless he's really old right now. You know what? Yeah, he's really old. He should have passed on by now, but this guy's too stubborn. Okay.
Fits his
Um,
name.
and so he has a walking cane, like you said, and he furiously was just beating me with it, hitting me like, "How could you do this and do that?" I mean, all the kids ran away terrified. Any parents who were around there, my parents were not around there. Any adults were too terrified to confront him at first. So he got a bunch of whacks in me before one of my parents stopped him. And then he gave then a full speech to them about how terrible I was, and they're not raising me right.
Now we're getting somewhere. All right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. This is good. This is traumatic. Okay. So your anxiety will increase by 2. It gets up there quick.
You're sure that drugs won't help me out here?
Unfortunately, I'm sure.
Because I have this primo weed. I
You
mean,
hate
David does.
you hate this memory. You hate this memory. Is it legal in New York yet? It's really causing you anxiety.
We'll find out in a few days, Jonathan, for New Jersey.
For New Jersey, yeah, we will. But it does remind you as to where he keeps these canes and things. So you're able to grab one, and if you need to, for if your next roll, it'll just technically this maybe again, I'm the GM, I can do whatever I want for your next.
Just don't tell me. Just tell me when I need to do it.
Sure, okay. I'll just say it's gonna aid you in your walking. Obviously, you're able to get around now at least as well as you were before you had to struggle.
This is when I'm gonna get the one. It's gonna snap in 2.
Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, what's your next move? I mean, you've locked up the door. You saw this stranger.
I'm gonna go back to the phone and call the police and tell them like, so I called earlier, be unsure, and I literally just saw a guy like in a trench coat, and I tried to shout at him, but he just went like around the house.
Okay, well, so you're going to the phone.
I'm gonna hobble back to the phone.
Yeah, you're good. You can get back to the phone. Let's
Is
just
is it there?
the phone. God, I got scared when you said, "Is it there?" I was like, "Oh my God, is it?" It's there. It's terrifying. Oh wait, I made that up. I can say whatever I want. Yes, you can. This time it's going to be an uneasy roll to see if you can get this phone working.
Uneasy is
That's the
level
basic
1, 2, or
one.
3.
Yes,
Okay.
that's level 1. So the phone is there. You're picking it up, but it's hard to hear. Even with this landline, the storm is so rough right now. You don't know if it's working. And it sounds like it's not. All right, is that your first actual 1 to failure? Oh no, you did a double
got
one.
snake eyes.
Yeah, that's right. So again, you can try. You can try to do something. I'll give you another roll if you have some way of maybe you could trying to fix the phone or something like that, or you can just keep like stubbornly dialing with a tense roll.
I'm gonna stubbornly dial.
All right.
So I just roll again.
And also I do get a dread. 5.
I did better.
What'd you get? A 3? Okay. So unfortunately, I think technically you can keep going. I get another dread, but oh no wait, that was a tense roll. Oh, I'm sorry. Then this is different. Oh yeah, tense roll failure is bad. So you get 1 point of despair for that.
Uh-oh.
Yes. By the way, on a desperate roll, even a success, I still get a dread. So that's what you can look forward to with those. So you get a despair. Oh no, I'm sorry. It's actually your choice. It's actually your choice.
Okay.
You can either take the 1 despair, or you will suffer a severe consequence. So an example of a severe consequence is like a broken leg or something like that. Something bad happened. Or in this instance, it probably... Well, I don't know. It's if it doesn't make sense for a consequence, I can also just take 2 dread instead.
I think I got to go with the severe consequence. Partially just because I'm curious what you're going to do with it.
All right. Well, you're attempting to, again, you're stubbornly yeah, it's an old phone. You're dialing. It's a rotary phone, and something.
Well, then I'm not dialing.
Right. Sorry. Well, don't they still? No. It is dialing because
is it still called
that's
dialing?
the actual dial, right?
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, that's where it actually does.
But
come
you did
from.
this. That's why.
No, I was trying to do this. I just was poking. Anyway, you unfortunately, like, the signal's not coming through. Something is not working, and the phone like starts. It's like it's short circuiting or something. It starts ringing, but not no one's. You're holding the receiver, like nobody's calling. It's like the thing is just losing its mind. It's breaking.
I go to unplug it.
It's you unplug it, but not before it shocks you a little bit, and you get a jolt to your system, and yeah, yeah. So you're a little bit fried, but uh, yeah, you're a little bit home alone right now, and the phone is just made just kind of didn't I wouldn't say it exploded.
It's smoking.
Yeah, it's something inside of it combusted, and the ringing was very loud, and you hear from the back of the house what sounds like a glass shattering.
I look up desperately and I quickly go to run over. How far away would I hear that distant? Like,
It's back where you were before, so I'd say right now you're like towards the front of the house, and that was in the back of the house.
I quickly go over, but I'm like stopping at the hallways trying to peek around. I'm not like,
Going over where? Going to see what it is?
yeah.
All right. I think you better make a tense roll to see how well you're able to get over there. And I will give you a bonus die as a result of your scar earlier for having this cane now. It's helping you maneuver better.
6.
Hey, that's just a success. You don't got to worry about anything. Yeah, you managed to weave your way around some corners in the darkness like a ninja, and you peek your head around the corner, and you can definitely see right in that back room, that den. In fact, there's some shattered glass, and that person that you saw earlier is standing as broken through the window. They don't see you, but they are standing there, and you now have a better, closer look at them. You can see they are wearing what looks like just a black jacket, like buttoned up, black pants, black shoes, black mask.
Are
No,
they by any chance going stars?
they're not. They're saying nothing about stars. They're not wearing gloves. You can see hands. Hands and
What
fingers.
color are the skin on the hands?
Looks like normal Caucasian skin tone hands. Nothing unusual about that, other than that
Okay.
they do seem to be very tall. This person, and yeah, they're just standing there. In fact, you didn't see them break through. You just saw them in the aftermath, and they don't see you yet.
Can I reveal my scar that I have gotten training from the ancient?
Yeah. Yeah, that scar that I'm Superman.
That I'm actually a Kryptonian who hurt his ankle carrying one. I'm gonna try to quietly leave as quickly as possible and make my way upstairs to my great uncle.
All right. Yeah, I think it's another tense roll to try to get up there without him hearing you.
I think this is the time to raise my anxiety.
So you're gonna push it.
Yeah,
All
push
right.
it real good.
All right. Let's find out what we got.
And I'm trying to obviously be very stealthy, and my foot's hurting though, so it's like I don't want to I'm trying to almost do it backwards too. Like I don't want to keep an eye. Like I'm scared. I know I'm just
Mm-hmm.
so terrified because I have got a 5.
All right. All right. You got a 5. You got a. Oh wait. That was
Oh,
roll for the.
that was my 2. Sorry. Let's do that first because that can matter now.
Yeah. Yeah.
1.
All right. So your anxiety's only going up by 1. Very, very fortunate for you. You're doing good on those. And your 5 was your result for your trying to get by.
Yes.
Okay, so I assume you're going to take it. You could raise it to desperate, but I assume
Oh
you're going to take
no.
it. I will receive a point of dread. but I will also give you a point of hope. 2 points of hope because you are able to back yourself away, sneak back. In the process, you're trying to be careful. You do knock into a potted plant that was on the wall, crashes onto the ground. You're able to hobble away in time and get around the corner and up the stairs before you, at least you don't
Whatever it
see them come
is.
after you. But definitely they know that you were there and they're going to be moving towards that location looking for you.
It was in the exact same place as the vase. It's like horrific fate.
Mm. Oh yeah, good point. You also get 5 anxiety. No, it doesn't work that way. So yeah, you're upstairs, and at this point you round the corner. I assume you're heading towards your uncle's room. Is that what you said?
Where I think he'd be, yes.
Yeah,
Like I don't know if he's in his bedroom, study, whatever.
he. I mean, he's hearing this noise now too, and he opens his door and he comes out. And it looks like he's about to, start shouting at you.
I go, shut up, shut up, shut up. And then I push him in the room and I close the door.
Yeah, let's do a. I think it's still tense. Yeah, I think we got to continue with the tense rolls from this
All right.
point on. You know what? No, I'll make it. I'll make it. Yeah, no, it's tense. This is definitely tense. This is tense.
All right. I didn't see what that was, so
Okay, sure.
it could have been good or bad. It's a 6.
All right. For those of you at home,
Because if there is a roll I need to pass on, it's shoving an old man.
we should explain that's what is that, a Fallout die, or what is?
No, these are from the oh god, I just blanked on it.
From Mutant Year Zero.
Mutant Year Zero, yes.
Okay, so
that's why they're
symbol's a 6.
different colors, and that's why the ones you can see are like an explosion and a biosign. So I know if I screw up, I'm really screwing up.
Well, you successfully stop him from shouting, and you get him back into the room, and he's actually like almost stunned into silence because you usually don't show that much resistance to his. Usually everybody puts up with his nagging. He's not used to getting any pushback.
After I close the door as quietly as I can and lock it, I turn around and go like, someone just jumped through one of the windows in the ground floor. I don't know who the hell it is, but like, I don't know what the hell is going on. Do you have like, I tried calling the cops and the phone just, I don't know. Do you have like any weapons in this house? Household.
Someone, what is it? It's a kid broke in. Is it
If
one of
it's
the
a
neighborhood
kid,
kids?
I haven't seen a kid who, this guy looks like he's like 8 feet tall.
All
And in
right.
a trench coat. I mean, God knows, I feel like I'm in a goddamn horror movie.
All right. Sit over there. He points to a chair or something. He's like you sit down. He goes to his closet and he takes out a shotgun. he's got a big shotgun, and he's like, I of course I have protection. I'm out in the country all by myself. I can't rely on you for anything. I know this. I knew something like this would happen if somebody broke in. I'm surprised you made it this far. Yeah, I mean, it's just some neighborhood kid. I'll just go down there and scare him.
No, this is definitely not a neighborhood kid, unless all your neighbors are NBA players. We need to like get out of here. We got to make it to the car or something.
I guess make an uneasy roll. Let's see if you can convince him that he should play it safe as opposed to running down there with his shotgun.
Wait, what? What level?
Uneasy.
So that's the first level.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think it's. I think it's uneasy.
That makes sense.
This is probably a gray area. It could probably go either way. You could do a scar.
Remember when I mentioned how I know if I did really bad with the symbol?
Is that okay? So that'd be
That's
a 1
a
right
nice
there.
one.
All right. So again, you could try. Now you could just try again, but make it tense, so you could get that tense with the push that you wanted. Or somehow, if you have a different idea of how you could
Convince him.
yes, if there's some other than just talking, like something you can show him or do. And I think I get a dread regardless.
Um. All right. I use my telepathy powers.
I can't wait to hear this scar.
God, I don't. No, I think I'm just failing this one. This just seems like I don't think even a scar can make this man change his mind.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, yeah, he's like, you're being ridiculous. It's just some neighborhood kid. There's nothing to worry about. I've got a gun. Guns, they're good.
Guns.
This episode brought to you by guns. So he jumps out. No, he doesn't jump out. He walks out at a measured pace. He's not taking this seriously. I mean,
I try to follow him.
okay, so you're gonna follow behind him. All right. So he walks down the stairs.
I'm a little slower because remember I just ran up trying to be stealthy and terrified and
Right, right. You're lagging behind a bit. He's old, but he's determined. And he gets down the stairs. I mean, he's got this thing. You didn't hear him load it, so either he just keeps it loaded all the time, or he's just using it to scare someone away. It's just for show.
that didn't even occur to me until you said something.
Either one is just as likely, maybe with this guy. But he's holding it like he's planning on shooting somebody with it. And he walks down the stairs and he shouts, "If anyone's out there, come out now, or I have a gun. I'll shoot you if you don't get off my property." And there's a beat, and you don't hear any. You don't hear anything. You don't see anyone.
I'm like, there's a beat. I'm like, what?
there's a beat. Well, you left it out on the kitchen counter. No, there's a pause, and nothing's there. And he starts to move around, to like look around corners and everything, and start shouting. He's like, "Are you sure there was somebody in the house?"
There's a broken window. What room was the broken glass window in?
In the den.
I don't know why I did that. That makes no sense.
The window.
The window.
Do you just do that with everything in a role playing game because it's not real? I moved to the door.
Well, actually, if you're playing with a DM who likes to throw a ton of mimics at you, I pick up the mug.
Oh, yeah, mimic mug. I'm gonna write that down for our campaign.
I think that's literally the ad commercial for Prey. That's what they usually use. The mimics often turn to mugs.
Prey, the video game?
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, so yeah. Are you gonna keep following him?
Yeah, because I'm saying like it was in the den.
And you're
because I know I supposedly supposed to be responsible for him.
Yeah. Why do you keep saying it?
I said him.
Oh, I thought you said it. Just now you said it was in the den.
Oh, I think just because I'm panicking and terrified.
No, he asks you that.
Oh, sorry. I thought that was you. Like...
Yeah, sorry. My uncle voice isn't well defined. Why do you keep saying it?
I don't know. Him, whatever. The intruder.
All right.
This is all like, it's like I'm still trying to be quiet, whispery, but it's like.
You said you called the police?
Yes, I called the police.
All right. You follow him in, and you get into the den. He sees the broken window. I mean, you didn't imagine it or anything like that. Snow is collecting on the carpet there. The wind is still blowing in from outside. It's very dark outside at this point. Hard to see anything out there. He goes up towards the window with his gun at the ready, and he has got. He's like pointing outside. You're behind him. You are standing there when you see in your peripheral vision. You see the guy. He's in the hallway to the left. But you haven't turned over to look at him. You haven't made it clear that you know he's there, and your uncle definitely didn't see him. He or it or whatever it is just standing there, the same way they were before, just arms at their side, silent, watching this play out. As your uncle goes up to the window and starts shouting outside, what are you gonna do?
Well, first I'm going to turn and look at it to see if I'm actually seeing it.
Okay, so you
So like,
you turn and you look, and yes, it's definitely standing right there. And having seen you, it starts walking towards you at a leisurely pace.
I'll go there.
What? What? Where?
I mean, I'm pointing while I assume I'm doing this.
Mm. Yeah, fair enough. All right, he spins around um, with the
Right
shotgun,
round, baby. Right round.
and he sees the
That's still enough time,
figure.
right? That we're not gonna get copyrighted.
Yeah, it was off key enough that no one will know. He points the shotgun at the figure and shouts out a warning. Says, "Don't take another step forward, or I'll shoot." And he's also a little bit weirded out right now because he's seeing this. This is not his scene. This weird masks and head coverings and everything like that. It's not.
He's more in your classic horror, just straight up demons and.
Yeah, he likes he's biblical. He likes the supernatural stuff, the rapture and angels and devils and things. And it continues moving, just walking straight towards him. Are you gonna make any kind of a different move? Or you're just gonna let this happen?
I mean, I'm just watching. I'm like, why aren't you shooting?
All right, he points the shotgun into the air and he fires off a warning shot. And I mean,
Well, I guess we know that it was loaded.
yes, you discover that indeed it was loaded. Whatever, but that does not deter this thing from continuing to walk forward. And you also, at this point, you look down at the ground and you realize now that there's not just snow is collected from outside at the base of the window, but
Oh, don't
all
say it.
all
Don't say it.
manner of bugs. Anne says you saw before, but it looks like more worms, centipedes, spiders. It almost so dense that you almost couldn't tell because you thought that just was the carpet.
Was
And
I standing on the carpet?
yes, and
How,
now
how did I not hear the crunch?
somehow you look down now, and it's as if they materialized
Okay, okay.
while you were standing there. I mean, you don't know, you can't explain it.
Now, the very important question, Jonathan. And was I wearing shoes?
Yeah, I'm gonna say you were wearing.
Okay.
I mean, I think you would be wearing shoes. I think so. After having to, well, I guess your ankle does hurt.
I was icing it. That's true.
Yeah, maybe
Or
you.
heat.
You're,
I don't
you're-
think I was wearing shoes.
yeah, you had like at least maybe on one foot, you had like a heating pad or something.
I think I was maybe socks.
Yeah, yeah. All right, you're in socks.
Either way, this is
You are in socks. And the thing's still coming towards you. The uncle's like backing up. Your uncle's backing up because he doesn't. It's you don't think he probably would shoot somebody, but he is still trying to hold off on that front. Are you gonna encourage him to do it again, or are you gonna?
I'm first gonna jump off this carpet of insects because I am no Timon and Pumbaa.
You don't love them slimy yet satisfying?
Nope.
Yeah, so sorry, you're just gonna jump back?
I'm just trying to get off these bugs because you said it. They're pretty much like the carpet.
Let's go ahead and why don't you make a tense roll to see.
Um, I mean, I'm definitely this is raising my anxiety, so let's do it because I think it also makes thematic sense.
To push it?
Yeah. 3. So that brings us to the 10.
All right, 10 anxiety. Now I'm gonna say this roll will still consider tense.
Okay.
But at this point, your character is panicking. And yeah, so that is both thematic and in terms of mechanics, your roles will have more severe consequences from here on out.
A 1 and a 3.
Those are both failures. So again, you could try a different approach, some other way to get off. You could. First of all, I mean, you. Regardless, you have to make a choose between despair or another severe consequence. Severe consequence.
God. We'll go with despair for this one.
All right. Despair getting up to 2. And I want to say this was a tense one. Yeah, no, okay. Um, and as I
Oh,
said, now you
I'm
can
down to
try.
one die.
You can so you're stumbling around. You haven't quite fallen down yet. You're struggling to get away from all this, but it seems like the bugs are everywhere. You can keep trying to get away, make another tense roll. Sorry, keep trying to get another way, make another desperate roll. Oh, actually, at this point, everything's desperate, so it doesn't really matter. If you're gonna try again or try something different, you'll have to make a desperate roll. But you're falling back, and you just can't keep yourself steady.
I mean, I'm gonna try swinging away the bugs away from me with the stick.
Okay, yeah, you've got that. Okay, yeah. I'll give you a bonus die. So, I'll give you a bonus die, but this is a desperate roll.
The first one was a 2. Second one was a 4.
All right. So, um, you succeed. You manage to use your stick. You whack these bugs away. You are getting yourself out of there. I am going to get two dread. I'm gonna hold on to it for now.
That's about 6 too many.
And you get to choose once again uh, another severe consequence or a despair.
I think I got it with the severe consequence this time. I can't raise that despair. What does the chat think?
Well, they're going to be 30 seconds behind us, but
Oh, that's right.
we'll see what they think. We'll go with the severe consequence, I suppose, since you said it. It's only fair. It's what you vocalize. So again, you are whacking everything away. You do get out of there relatively well. Meanwhile, your uncle is still shooting. He has now taken a second shot.
To the sky or towards the person?
This person has approached closer. They're now closer than Uncle Lazarus would like. He points his shotgun straight at him, and you know how a shotgun sounds. Only he only does it once. One shot. Hoser says despair, by the way, so you still got a chance to change your mind.
I'll tell you what, that's for the next one.
All right, next one you'll pick despair, and it does not stop. This thing takes the shot, keeps moving forward, and it moves very close to your uncle. You're watching this kind of awestruck.
I scream, we need to get out of here.
Bugs are swarming around your uncle, like climbing up his legs.
Oh, jeez.
Like starting to just cover his body as this guy, this thing, this person, this figure, this horror.
Mondays, am I right?
This horror again moves closer and closer and starts to almost push your uncle like towards a corner of the room further away from you, except
Is he still holding the shotgun?
he has the shotgun kind of at his side, but it's like ineffective. He's almost
But
not
I
even
mean, like
trying
he
to
didn't
use it.
drop it.
No, he's still holding it. It's almost at this point like the bugs themselves are carrying him away. Like
Oh,
there's so many of them that he's just being carted away on top of them. Got anything for me?
yeah, I'm running like a coward.
All right. Yeah. Make a
David is not Orion from D&D.
make a
He's not.
desperate. Where are you running to exactly?
I want to run to wherever the keys are for the car.
Okay. All right. So there's a hook by the front door. So let's say that. So this is a desperate roll because you are now panicked, which is why you would probably run because you're freaking out. A 2, eh? All right. So for a 2, remember folks, these are one shots. For a 2, unfortunately that is a failure. You receive 1 despair. This time you don't have a choice. Despair is at 3. I get 2 dread.
Mm.
I know I have so much. By the way, just so you know, I am not allowed, if despair is at 4, I cannot use my dread to raise it to 5. That must happen through a roll, through a
Okay.
failed roll. Um, so, and you're also going to suffer a severe consequence. So, not only are you in your panic, you're disoriented. You don't know where where the front door is. You trip over yourself on your hurt leg. Your cane goes flying across the room. Bugs all over the place. They're now crawling on you. I wouldn't say it's quite the same treatment that your uncle seems to be getting as you hear his screams of terror from the other side of the room, but they're certainly crawling over your body as you're now crawling, pain shooting through your leg, uh, presumably trying to get your bearings and crawl back towards the door or try another approach. I'm not sure what you want to do as you
I
panic.
think I'm just friendly, like still crawling and pushing things off. I'm just desperately trying to make it to the front door.
All right, so we're now gonna keep trying. Is there any scars that might remember? You don't have to worry about anxiety anymore. So,
But
uh,
I can't. I assume I can't push myself.
no, you can. I think you can still push. I suppose the
Because
other.
so isn't that just I just have 2 dice now always?
That's a good point. You may be right. Something I hadn't considered. I'll double check on the rules. Um, let's see. Push. Control F. Push. Um, push. Boy, they use the word push a lot in this rule book. Not in relation to a mechanic. Let me find dice. Come on. Page 19. All right. You can push your main character on tense or desperate rolls to add 1 die. Doesn't I mean, like, I guess you're right, but you know what? I mean, the results are so bad on desperate rolls, and it's still like relatively likely that you get a bad result that I think it's probably fair for you to just get 2 dice maybe from that point on.
All right.
I don't know. We'll just unless someone in the chat or in the future, if you want to leave a comment, if you know the right ruling for this, but
I
you
can tell
still
you the first
yeah,
one didn't
oh yeah,
turn out too well.
and if you just wanted to introduce a scar, you could get a third.
Yeah, you know what? Why don't we do that? Because we're in that sort of point.
Yeah, I think so.
Um. All right. Here's the scar. Hide that behind my.
Yeah, we don't see that.
If in the beginning we mentioned how David was one of the reasons he was sort of soloed out to be the one to be taking care of his uncle is because, his future has not his future. His life has not been great. He failed out of college and he tried to join the military, and of course he went through training and really miserable through the through the obstacle course. In particular, when you have to crawl through the mud with the barbed wire, he caught himself on the barbed wire and ripped himself like his arm back here pretty well. Now, why he's not in the military anymore, I'll say that for another scar.
Oh, if you live that long.
If I live that long.
So he's got like that, crawling through the dirt type of training.
Yeah.
All right. So go ahead. So there's 3 dice on this one.
Mm-hmm. That one didn't count because it fell off the table, but I caught it.
Yeah, off the table doesn't count.
All right.
We all know.
We
how
got
that
a
goes.
3, a 4, and a 2.
All right. Well, that means we're going with the 4. And once again, now you get to choose again a despair or another severe consequence. But you do
I
succeed.
know.
I mean, I assume you're going to go for the despair. I mean, the consequence.
I think I have to at this point. I think I'm gonna fail anyways, so I should either let you bring it up to 4.
Right. Yeah, because I do get 2 more dread. I can keep giving you more consequences too.
Do you have a limit?
No, there's no upper limit on dread. I can just keep getting it and unleash it. But this does still count as a success. You are able to use that military background to drag yourself across. The bugs that are on you now, I mean, you are losing your mind, and they're biting too. Like you can feel
Mm.
like itching and swelling already starting, and you look down at your, especially your ankles and your your foot, because you weren't wearing shoes, of course, and there is just swelling, like terrible bug bites that are like starting to, there's pus already, like as if this is like an old bug bite. It's like they've rapidly transformed your leg. It's a Cronenberg type of situation down there. It's really really nasty to look at. It hurts. You're somehow able, in spite of that, to keep pulling yourself. You get to the door. You grab the keys off the side. You pull yourself upright just as you hear what you're pretty sure are the death throes of your uncle being consumed or whatever. I don't know what's happening back there. David does not know. You
I
will
think that should give me a hope.
you you do receive a point of hope.
I was gonna joke
So
because I hate him.
no. Unrelated to that, your hope comes from the fact that you are getting yourself further away from the horror.
All
uh,
right.
your uncle not so lucky. His hope's going down. And yeah, now it's back at you. So you're at the door, which is now, by the way, I believe still
I
barricaded by a
barricaded. Yes,
sofa.
I know. I know.
Okay.
Uh, which way to the garage?
I think it's probably like there's a door next to the kitchen, so not terribly far away. You
I'm gonna go there because I don't think that's close to. It sounds like the house plan before, where all the bad stuff is going down.
Yeah, I think you can. I don't need you to roll for that. You're within range of it. You can get down the stairs. I mean, it's painful. You're, like I said, it's a bad situation down there. Down there being your
Yeah, yeah.
lower body, but you are moving along, and it looks like the bugs start to dissipate, start to lessen as you get further away from the main section of the house, and you get into the garage, and there's your car, there's the garage door.
I go to open. I slam the button to open the garage door. I assume that, or is it manual?
No, it's a button. Yeah,
Okay.
it opens up. Yeah, you're good.
All right. Is the guy on the other side?
That would be scary, but no, you don't see him there.
I do my best to get into the car.
All right, you're in the car. You can get into the car.
Can I start the car?
That's what we're gonna find out. Uh, yeah, go ahead with a desperate roll to see if we can get this
All
thing
right.
moving.
So about that military training, uh, we were parked out in doing outdoors drills in a forest area. Where we pull up in a truck. I have not had actual military training, so I'm making this all up, and it's probably nothing that actually happens.
This is an alternate universe that's close to ours, but slightly different.
And yeah, I don't know. They pull us out, and someone just jokingly like just pushes me or something, and I fall into a bush. And guess what? It just happens to be another dead animal with lots of insects in it. This, of course, just freaks the hell out of me. And I go running towards the truck. And, the sergeant goes like, "What the hell are you doing?" And I just push him aside, and I run to the truck, and I drive off. And this is why I was discharged.
Oh man. All right, you just can't handle it. You just can't handle the bugs.
And I think it's fair to say now why.
And this is so this memory is flashing back to you as you attempt to start the car, just like you
Yeah,
started that
pretty much
truck.
like it because
It's
of that. It's almost
escaping.
like escaping and like
But
starting cars
there's
more automatic. I'm not like, "Ooh, where's the
yeah,
hole?"
but there's a level of guilt involved too, I assume, because you've on some
Oh, I
level
mean,
you
yeah, I mean, this is like one of my only tickets for my future, and I just
yeah
closed another door because I panicked.
yeah yeah. All right, let's roll those dice, roll those
First one.
bones.
Well, it's our good number.
Okay, 5. That's good. That's our favorite.
I don't know if I need to roll a third time.
Did you get a 6?
6.
Oh man, no, that'll do it. That will definitely do it.
This isn't like where I get multiple successes. I can spend them on stuff.
No, I'm afraid
Like
not.
I can if I get another success. Can I do it flashy?
We'll see. So that will definitely give you another hope point. And I'll just go ahead too and take this opportunity to spend my dread.
Oh no! What is he? Oh,
just no, just to even it out. So your despair
oh
is not.
man, we're neck and neck.
That's right. So that's the last of my. I can't increase despair anymore, but I could spend that to give you more consequences. But so I almost just feel like you'd get enough of those by yourself. You don't really need my help with dread.
Hold on, I missed
Oh.
a chunk. I accidentally unplugged the headphones.
Don't worry about it. You didn't miss anything. You're good.
Okay.
Anyway, that's where we're at. You successfully start the car, and your foot's on the gas. You back out of there. The snow is coming down, and of course it's been a few hours now. It's dark outside. It's Halloween night.
I mean, you already said there was an inch, so
yeah, it's a
and I
remote
assume
area.
aren't plowed. I probably shoveled some of the areas earlier, but those are walkways, not streets.
Exactly. So it's rough terrain. You can't exactly just like speed out of there. But you do. I mean, you still manage to make your way through the snow, and you are driving out, and it's very dark. It's hard to make out, but in the rearview mirror, you look back at the house, and it almost looks like bugs are. It looks almost like the house is moving slightly, like as if the walls were alive. There's just it's just covered in insects. At least but it's hard to tell exactly. It's just like a blurry moving house in your back vision. You really don't like it at all.
Mm-mm.
And you drive, and you are leaving the house behind you, and you're on the road for a short period of time, and wouldn't you know it, you hear some shuffling in the back seat, and you check behind in your mirror, and you can see the figure somehow has managed to place itself in the back seat of your car, is sitting there, the same arms at its side, not moving, staring straight ahead, mask on, no features showing. Again, doesn't acknowledge whether it realizes that you've seen it or not. It's simply sitting there in the back as you drive.
Obviously, I scream and slam the brakes.
Yeah, that's probably. Are you? Yeah, I mean that's just on it. Yeah, as a reaction. Yeah, you slam the brakes and you're still kind of in the middle of nowhere. You haven't been driving for that long. It's probably at least like a half-hour drive to get to an actual town or anything where people might be. At least in this time and era. And it's the horror in the back. I mean, you jostle yourself a little bit, but you're okay. Actually, yeah, you know what? Maybe you're not. Why not? I'll spend.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
I'll spend a couple points of dread because I got them, and say that as you slam the brakes on the car,
It slides and.
You slam them a little bit too hard. I think in all the hurry to get out, you forgot to put your seatbelt on. And let this be a lesson to you at home, kids. You slam forward into the front of the car. You're not like flying through the windshield or anything like that, but
It's definitely knocked the wind out of me.
yeah, you are. Yeah, I mean that's probably the best way to put it. You're a little bit woozy. You're a little bit
Some ribs are probably cracked, but I don't know that.
delirious. You cannot. It hurts to like you haven't turned around. You don't know what this thing is doing. You don't know if it's reacting to this or if it's moving or if it's still there or what. What will you do?
I'm not even gonna look. I'm gonna just open the door and leave the car and run.
All right, then let's do a desperate roll to see how it goes. And this, I mean, this could be the beginning, the end either way.
I definitely need a scar here.
Yeah, let's bring it home with something real dramatic.
Um. All right. So I'm going out to run in the snow, and it's cold. Thing is, and this memory is very fresh. Just a little while ago. You know, uh, Old Lazarus, may he rest in peace, was really angry that I wasn't finishing the chores he had designed for me outside, even though the sun was setting. He was telling me to keep working outside, fight through the bitter cold. You learn to deal with it. Aren't you supposed to be a man? That kind of talk. So I learned to, not learned, I had already experienced working out in the cold for a significantly long period of time while being berated as such from inside while he has hot chocolate.
um, yeah, yeah, that's rough. So you have a little bit of a you withstand the cold a little bit.
Hmm.
I think I've
Hey,
been
if
through a little
anything,
bit.
it feels a lot better than maybe put some ice on those pus modules and stuff.
Yeah, all right, I'll give you that extra die. Let's see what we can make happen here.
Well, we got our 5.
All right. Okay.
There's our 1. Can I add those together?
No, I'm afraid not. I'm afraid not. Well,
And a 4.
I assume
I'm
you're
assuming I'm not taking the despair.
yeah, you're not going to choose the despair. I mean, technically speaking, I
Can I
think
get both?
hope and despair. It's a good question. I don't know if there's a timing for it, but I mean, I believe, and I will just call it because it is what it is. You that it still counts as a success.
Hmm.
You technically I get 2 dread. You succeed on a roll that is getting you further away from the horror, and that I think does result in you receiving a fifth hope. Now, I think we just need to bring it home. I mean,
What?
you are
I am just
crawling
running along the
away. Oh, you're
street,
running. You are
terrified,
running.
running, crawling. I'm doing whatever I
You're
can.
limping, but you're running.
And, I know, like, even though there's 30 minutes, like you said, it's
Mm.
better than being with that thing. So as I truck my way through the snow, just terrified, finally, lights in the distance. That cop that was supposed to come earlier
Oh yeah, good call, good point. Yeah.
finally shows up.
Yeah. All right. All right. Yeah, I'll get it. Okay. So this cop comes. This cop comes in. You see the cop car, sirens, or lights, not sirens because they don't know what's going on, but lights in the distance, and yeah, they see you and they stop you on the road and they get out and they're like, "What's wrong? What's going on? Are
Bugs,
you all right,
bugs,
sir?"
bugs, 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 bugs.
Okay.
Like I'm
Okay. Do you need help? How did you get here?
the manor. Or wait,
That's
what was the last name we chose for them?
Jones.
The Jones Manor.
Yeah, we were going to check out the old Jones place.
It's the bugs. So many bugs there. Oh my god.
All right. Do you need us to take you somewhere?
Get me out of here. Just get me out of here.
All right. There. So the guy escorts you into the back of the vehicle. You seem harmless, but he's enough. But he's not sure of your mental
Hey.
state. And as you're getting into it, you can see the horror is still in the background. It's walking towards you in the snow, and as it approaches, it for the first time you've really seen it do anything besides just stand or walk. It lifts its arms out and removes its mask like in one clean just removes whatever this strange face covering was, and underneath it looks like a it's hard to make it out in the darkness. You can see the shape of a head,
Does the
but
cop see this?
yeah, well, the cop is like fitting you into the car and like getting back into the
Oh,
door.
okay.
So
So
there,
his back is to
his
it.
back is to it, and it's where its face should be is just blackness, like darkness, like a void. and from within that void, you can see bugs pouring out with wherever that is, from its body or from somewhere else. It's the kind of thing that would drive you insane to look at. It's hard for you to truly comprehend.
I don't think it's the kind of thing.
It's the thing. It's the thing that maybe seals that deal. But
I think this is our Hope Despair hitting 5 together.
But in spite of that, the cop pushes you into the car, and this is just the last thing that you see as he is able to get into the car and drive you away from there. And at least for the end of this story, you do not end up being devoured or taken in by this horrible thing.
And this is why you don't worship Narlatep.
And we will go ahead. There is what page is that? I wrote that down. At this point, we can have kind of an epilogue.
Mm-hmm.
Since you survived, barely.
Yeah.
You managed, like, by a thread. Of course, here we go. Epilogue. So, you survived. I will have you describe, if you would, how you have been traumatized. I think we could make a guess by these events, and what maybe that's changed about you. What's going on in your life in the weeks or months to follow. And
well,
yeah. Oh, and also yeah, let's start with that.
Adrenaline can be an amazing thing. It can really push you to the limits. But when all is said and done, the human body can only handle so much. They don't know what the hell happened up there. And as far as they know from reports of talking about other people, like beforehand, like calling Rachel, like they maybe heard that I hurt my ankle, but nothing like this. And I think both legs are just somehow so rotten and infected that they need to be removed.
Oof, yeah, that sounds probable. Okay, and then following that, there's also a condition here that if you escape the horror without actually defeating it, that we should describe.
That was an option?
It's a possibility, I guess, depending on what the horror is and what you do. You should describe a short scene that shows how the horror is still at large, and that in escaping without entirely defeating it, others are doomed to repeat their fate. I feel like there's got to be a scene where you're like peaceful at home, and then there's just like some bugs in the corner that crawl out from behind a painting or something, or.
Yeah, give me a minute.
Yeah,
All right.
You got something right. Brewing.
So, I have, like I said, my legs had been amputated. But I still am extremely adamant that, I need to be in a very dense area, which a lot of people are like, there's a pandemic going on right now, right? And like, no, I can't be in no nature. No. Got to be in a very heavy city area, and for, I don't know. This is not my job to remember how all the things got in place, but I am currently in an apartment that is a good few floors above the ground. I like being away from things now. Well, not David likes being away from things.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm safe here, but this building, it does, like, I want you to imagine I'm looking out the window of this building, and just like a movie, the camera's zooming out. This building, which is on by water, it zooms to the other side where there's a park.
I'm doing background noises.
And you merely just zooms out, like, by close up with a tree. And of course, you start seeing some ants crawl up
skitter,
the bark of tree, and then a hand slams next to it.
Oh man, yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's a good. That's a good. That's the gotcha ending. That's after the first set of credits, but before the rest of the credits roll. Yeah.
Unfortunately, the sequel was direct to DVD.
And Curtain. See now, if this is a good movie, if I were to rewrite this movie, having done our rough draft, I feel like definitely I'd put more of a try to draw in the uncle's storyline more and
Well,
the
yeah, I mean, they're probably we'd be making a movie, not a one-shot comic.
yeah,
Be
yeah.
more interaction between the
This is just my how my brain working. That I'm like, yeah, that would be the one. I wish there was more of a, not that scene, just like, you know, I would rewrite it so that was the somehow this
Well,
horror was related to that.
I think there'd be more like scenes. Like I love the kitchen thing. There'd be more like scenes with rotten food kind of deal, where insects and stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
I don't think the uncle would have died as quickly or something. Maybe more of knocking around or something.
yeah. Maybe the cousin comes back into play, or the cop shows up earlier. It's hard because it's with the way the despair works. Sometimes you can just die pretty quick.
Right.
It would be drawn out for a little differently.
I'd probably also, just because of what happened here, 5 would appear a lot in the movie.
Yeah, there's some hidden meaning to that. Now,
Actually, if you did make a movie, Jonathan, you'd have to track
will.
your you track your despair for this. So in the movie, like when you got like 5 despair, there'd be 5 in the background. When there's 7, like
right, dread, you mean?
yeah.
Dread, yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a thing you can do. There's some fun stuff with that. I mean, the way this RPG Quietus, it really is heavily inspired, obviously, by movies. But they even have a reference of like specific ones that influence them and how you use them.
Which one was this one?
Good question. I mean, in general, the ones they heavily reference are The Strangers comes up a lot. Babadook. There's some other ones in there that it follows. But
That's the one I was thinking of when you first mentioned the despair system, because I feel like it follows as pretty much the despair system.
yeah, there's a lot of that going on. And then they also recommend that once you finish with the epilogue, that you have a decompress period to feel better about yourselves and talk about something lighter. so we talked a little bit through our thoughts on it, but
Well, I think the idea of making the movie of it is the lighter, because I think that's really
Yeah.
cool.
I want to
I'm
know
also going to be the idiot who only wants to be on set when the monster is.
what's your favorite Halloween candy? That's my question for the chat and for
Does that
you.
mean something that you actually get, well, trick or
Yeah,
treating?
yeah, a candy that you would get.
Reese's. I think that would be the
Oh, you mean
go-to.
like these?
Oh, you son of a! You knew it.
I don't have trick or treaters. I just bought candy because I wanted it for Halloween.
To be fair, you actually have the like. I could actually see that happening where you are.
Not well, maybe in this neighborhood, but they can't help
Right.
get into the building. But anyway, that was
But
a
I mean,
fun.
there could have been a family with. I don't know.
It's hard to go wrong with the
Yeah.
Reese's. They're great. But that was Quietus. Let us know in the chat or in the comments. AJN also says Reese's is their choice as well. What your favorite candy is. Again, there's a link.
What's the worst?
Oh, what's the worst? Oh, definitely like Mike and Ike's or.
I'm thinking anything that doesn't come wrapped, like those
Oh,
peanuts.
gross.
You know, like the marshmallow things. It's
Oh,
like,
circus peanuts.
yeah.
Who do people? I mean, those are like like
I know
novelty
I've gotten
50s
them when I was a
stores.
kid.
Ugh, those are very bad. I mean, candy corn's pretty bad, but I don't know. Anyway, this was a spooky Halloween. It was the first time trying out the thing, and it was enjoyable. And I think if you want to hear more, of course, we'll probably be talking about it on our podcast next week, which is exclusive
Oh, yeah.
to Patreon. You can support us there. Otherwise, stay tuned and subscribe for more streams that we have been doing. We've been doing a lot of spooky ones lately, and I think we'll keep doing more spooky ones just because there's overlap from month to month playing different games.
I think partially one, we just want to continue watching. We want to get through the entire Resident Evil series.
Yeah.
I know. And hopefully maybe I'll start joining in, so I'll vocally be there at least.
Well, you got your Arkham Horror as well.
That is true. I just find the Resident Evils are more fun to watch than me. Like, did I do this rule right?
No, it's great. Hoser likes 100 grand bars. We got more votes for peanut butter cups. All right, but anyway, that's it. Thanks so much, and I'm glad you survived because I didn't know if you would or not.
Hey, it was down to the wire, and I
Oh,
think that's
and
the way
I'm-
you want it.
killed you for a second. All right, so thanks everybody for watching. Check us out, Roll for Crit. Hope you have a happy Halloween. Hope it wasn't too scary.
Ooh, you know what would help deal with those scares?
Ooh, what a little what?
Being in nice clothing to keep you close, like these shirts.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Buy some merch at rollforcrit.com. You check out our great merch options. Ooh, we've got masks, Roll for Crit face
That's
masks.
true.
So for it's too late for Halloween, but never too late for safety. And good luck in the coming week. And look, here's our theme song. That's how you know it's officially over. It's pretty loud. Sorry about that.
Good night.
Bye, everybody. Goodbye. Thanks for watching.